So we're here just relaxing poolside after a long walk. Mahal's busy on her phone. That's par for the course. If you find a Filipina and she's not attached to her phone somehow, I want to question if you found a real Filipina because they're all attached to their phone. I think after a while, it just kind of melts right into their fingers and it doesn't actually come away from their phone. It's actually attached to their phone. They sleep and the phone is there. They wake up, the phone is there. Throughout the day, the phone is there. It's just attached to their phone. Anyway, this is a joke. Don't be mad at me, Mal.
It's not a joke. It's the
Okay, it's kind of the joke. I'm telling the truth. Anyway, in this video, I just thought I'd talk about a bit of a nightmare experience we had when we traveled here to the Philippines. It's been a while since we actually came here, but wow, it was a trip. Because first when we left our own home country, we didn't even get off the first airport without being pulled aside. So before we left even our very first airport back in North America, all the security had us pulled aside. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I had my son, it was just myself and my son traveling here. And my son, hands up and having to check him, and then they're swabbing them and putting things underneath, those machines that detect, mystery things. And we didn't have a clue what was going on. And after a good long while of everyone staring at us and us standing aside while they're examining my son, they finally let us, continue on the first leg of our trip there. And myself and my son were talking about it. The only thing we can figure, because they said they found some sort of mysterious substance or something. So the only thing I can figure it was, like the night before we left, my son has like this huge CD collection, compact disc collection. And he was, rearranging it and things, packing it up before we left. And, the majority of what he bought were like secondhand CDs from other collectors. So he was thinking maybe by touching so many of them, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, there was some sort of residue on his fingers, like where they were, someone else's CDs at some time. So maybe there was residue on it or something, maybe even mysterious residue for all we know. That's the only thing we can figure, because they just told him to make sure he washes his hands more. So we got through that part of the journey. And then traveling here, generally, it was pretty good. It was a long flight, and we had several stops. So like our total trip was like probably, I think, 53 hours. So that was a long trip, or maybe 54 or even 55. I'm not sure. It was a long trip because of the stopovers and the layovers and the length of time. So if you're doing that when you're coming here, be prepared. It's tiring. And when you get here, you're going to be tired. I'm telling you now, try to go right to your hotel if you got one of these kind of, runs like that, and just relax for your first day if you can, even first 2 days if you can at all possible. That's a word to the wise. But anyway, another part, when we got to Korea, because that was one of our stopovers, South Korea, before we would come to the Philippines, I noticed it was only showing one of our bags, and I was in a bit of a panic because when I was checking, trying to manage our stuff, like make sure it was all still online or whatever, there's only one bag showing up. So I had to go up and ask security there at the airport if we had two bags. He confirmed, yes there is. So I'm thinking, okay, well, it's just showing one, but there's two. And then when we finally get here, of course, there were two bags, but the second bag, oh my goodness, all my son's things again. His baggage was open. His prescription glasses, which he has very precise, heavy vision, like ever since he was a baby, basically. That a prescription that is basically useless to anyone because his prescription is so specific to him and very thick in the lens. How are you, like if it was just a natural glass, it would be a very thick glass, but now due to new prescriptions, of course, they can make it a lot thinner. But that kind of sight, very bad sight. One of his prescription glasses, very expensive, disappeared, gone. So that was gone. He had really good headphones, and as for a PS5 system that he took with him, and the headphones were slashed and the wires cut and everything like that, just ruined. You can't even use them anymore. So that happened somewhere along the way. we're just thinking it was from the South Korea to here, but we're not really sure where it happened, so we can't really say. But it happened somewhere along our journey. And what was it? There was something else. Oh yeah, his microphone, because he likes to record things as well. And his microphone, he had a good microphone. It was damaged, all beat to pieces. He was still able to get it to work, although lately it's not working anymore. But it's mainly largely because of that. It was all beat to pieces. So I'm saying this because when you come here, keep in mind your luggage. It could end up like ours. Things missing, things beat up, cut up, whatever. So, you know, if it's something you really need that's probably valuable, maybe buy it over here, you know, after you get here or something, and just take your necessities of clothing. Personally, my recommendation, if at all possible, is just take the necessary clothes that you necessarily need for so many days, and you know, have it so you can reuse it in maybe a week's worth of clothes or something like that. You can reuse, and then maybe buy some more clothes when you're over here or something like that, and try to make it as flawless as possible when you travel. So anyway, so some of our experience went through. At the time when we're going through it, none of it was nice. I gotta say, it was like very confusing at the security of the first airport. Very saddening with all the damage and lost items when we got here, and trying to replace some of those things when we got here was expensive too. So word to the wise, consider what you pack, be prepared for things like that when you travel. It happens sometimes, and it happened to us. So anyway, heads up. God bless you. Thanks for watching. Check out all our channels. And if you are new to our channel and new to thinking about coming to the Philippines, one thing I wish I had before I came was to be able to maybe find out more information about the Philippines, talking to someone about that. And Mahal here, she talks to, you know, a lot of the foreigner guys who are planning to come here. She gives classes, and that's something you can do. You just got to connect with her through the email. It's Filipina K1, Filipina K1 at gmail.com, and you can book a 20-minute conversation with her, and you can have as many of those back to back you want, or just one 20-minute conversation. It's $5, and you can just talk about the Philippines, have a chat about the Philippines. You want to learn some of the language or key phrases, you can ask her that too. But a lot of guys just want, like, I wanted to know a lot of things before I came, and that would have been an excellent thing for me. I didn't really have that. So, you know, a lot of these foreigner guys are charging mega bucks just to talk with them for their experience. But she's a real Filipina. She's from here, grew up here, knows all about it. And she can just tell you from her heart and her own experience, you know, probably answer most of your questions. Just have a chat with her. $5, 20 minutes, FilipinaK1 at gmail.com. Send her an email. She checks it all the time, regularly. And thank you for those who have already connected with her, because here's the key thing that's really appreciated on her behalf from me, and also her. She appreciates it because the money goes to help her son. Her son is now in college, and that's an expensive endeavor for her. So whatever conversation you have, each $5, she puts it towards helping her son in somehow, some way with his college endeavors. So thanks for that too. And thanks for checking out our channels. We appreciate it. FilipinaMoments.com is our website. Check out all our channels there. God bless you.
God bless everyone.
God bless you from both of us.